Coming up on Network Africa, the U.S. announces the end of a program that protects Liberian citizens who live in the country. Ethiopian opposition figures welcome the election of Abiy Ahmed as the country's new prime minister. And senior Kenyan media columnist resign over alleged interference from authorities. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Temitope Fagbemi. We begin today in the United States, where the government has announced that it is ending a program that protects Liberian citizens who live in the country. The deferred enforcement departure, which began under former President Bill Clinton, allows Liberians to live and work legally in the United States. Now, it is similar to another program called Temporary Protected Status, which the Trump administration is also scaling back. The program was set up to give refuge to victims of one of the most horrific massacres in the Liberian Civil War. But in a memorandum issued on Tuesday, U.S. President Donald Trump says Liberia is no longer experiencing armed conflict and has made significant progress in restoring stability and democratic governance. The order gave the affected 839 people 1 year to return to Liberia. The protections will expire on March the 31st, 2019. So let's get more on this story from Mr. Okwe Okpala, an African Affairs Analyst. Thanks for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you so much.
Now, what do you make of the U.S. government's decision to end a program that allows Liberians to live and work legally in the country by next year?
Well, many have described the decision as harsh, others as cruel, and I think it is also very myopic. Since Trump entered the White House, it has defined the American interest in a very narrow way. He wants to make America great again. He wants to put America first. But what made America great is not this infrastructure, it's its diversity, it's its values. And what is under attack consistently under the Trump presidency is American values. America, the family, the liberty, the hospitality, the attitude of welcoming others and then allowing people to enjoy freedom, to have opportunities. That's what made America great, greater than any other country for now. And that's what's under attack. And he's beginning to see immigrants as a threat. But the immigrants are the people who built America. But
if you say he's seeing immigrants as a threat, doesn't he have a point considering the issue of terrorism that is currently going on?
No, but research has shown that immigrants don't have higher propensity to be terrorists than those who were born in America. That there are several research that have shown that it is not immigrants don't commit more crime or terrorism or even more violent crime than those who were given birth in America. So if you are checking, if that is the reason, then it doesn't stand. And, these are, again, the compassionate side of it, the moral side of it, is these are families that have been there sometimes for 20 years. They've given birth, their children are there, their children are Americans. And, how will a mother go and leave the children? The father will go and leave the children. So that was why, when President Bush ended the TPS, that is temporary protected status, he now allowed this deferred enforcement departure to exist, so that people can still, there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, we can't take more. But those who are already there and they are not committing crime, you can allow them to stay, at least to keep families together.
Now, let's look at a point that the U.S. president raised in a memorandum which was issued yesterday. He says Liberia is no longer experiencing armed conflict and that the country is not stable. How true is this, and how easy will it be for the Liberian government to reintegrate the returnees?
No, to some extent, he's right. Liberia is stable now. They have conducted election 2005, conducted another election 2011, and then 2017. And they got another government has taken over. There is a reasonable stability. But Liberia also suffered so much from the conflict, from Ebola, and they are just beginning to recover. The economy is still... So if you say several thousands of people coming to resettle in Liberia within 1 year, maybe an uphill task for the government. And moreover, the shock to those people who are moving from US to Liberia, some of them may not have been, they've not been there for the past 20 years, or they've not had any activity for the past 20 years. It will not be so easy relocating within just 1 year.
Now, finally, apart from Liberians, the president is also planning to kick out El Salvadorans. He's planning to kick out people from Haiti. What effect is this expulsion of all these immigrants likely to have on the U.S. economy?
Of course, these are people who are contributing. These are people who are contributing to American economy. The American greatness was attained through the effort of all these immigrants. And there is really, American economy as of today is even moving up. They are doing well economically thanks to the effort of these immigrants. So kicking them out will definitely leave a lot of gap, which will even affect the American economy adversely.
Mr. Okwe-Okpala, thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa.
Yeah, most welcome. Thank you.
Now, Africa might soon witness another tenure elongation controversy as reports say Chad's president would be allowed to stay on until 2033 and be granted greater powers under constitutional changes recommended by a national conference. The two-week forum of about 800 politicians, business leaders and traditional chiefs boycotted by the opposition recommends eliminating the post of prime minister and creating a fully presidential system. It also proposed reinstating presidential term limits that were scrapped by a 2005 referendum, but the reforms will still let President Idris Deby, who came to power in a rebellion in 1990, stay on well into old age. It recommended 6 years rather than 5-year presidential terms, limited to a maximum of 2 terms, effective from the next presidential election in 2021. Now, that means President Deby could stay in power until 2033, when he will be 81 years old. The opposition has criticized this recommendation, which it says aims to create a monarchy in the country.